過ぎた季節が嘘だとしても重ねたぬくもりは嘘じゃない君が残した背中の傷跡は今もずっと甘くてだからずっと痛くて
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, and I'm back with you with another new chapter of The Dragon Hunters versus the World. And honestly, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it, actually. You guys were able to make it to the viewer goal. Unfortunately, the like goal is far from what I wanted it to be, but honestly, I'm not too surprised about that. I mean, it was the introductory chapter, so in chapter 0, chapters like that don't really get a lot of reception unless it's the first chapter. So yeah, but I will still continue to put up a goal for each and every one of for this one and the next video as well. That beat for this one, if this video can get up to at least that of 300 viewers and also that of 35 likes, then I'll move on to the next chapter as well. Like I said, this is still just much of an experiment that I want to test out. You guys did well with the viewer count, but not with the likes, but still, I'm not being too picky on the likes, to be honest. Just knowing you guys like seeing my content is good enough for me. Any rate, a little bit of a recap. We talked about that of Chapter 0, introducing that of Unit 11, which is a team of unique individuals from all forms of walks of life as well. As each of these individuals are actually dragon hunters, or dragon slayers, as I should say. A team that were trained to kill dragons and save their world. As these individuals came to this world by a mysterious circumstances, introduced themselves to the leader of Gorgori, Azazel, and wanted to know on where they are now. But before they get to know that, Azazel needs to know on how they got to this world. Within the team leader, Leo, began to explain. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 1, A New Beginning. This is the story of Leonardo Nagashita, aka rather known as Leo. Leo was always a shy, timid, and somewhat caring boy. Not only that, he always felt like he was always inferior to his older brother, Leo. Because of that, he always felt insecure, that no matter what decisions he makes, it was never always the best decision. However, all of that changed until the day he decides to go to that of Nito, otherwise known for their development in VR gaming technology, as he goes to that of their arcade center, known as the Seventh Encounter. The encounter on where it basically modeled the dragon invasion of Tokyo of 2020. Not wanting to do it all by himself, he decided to bring at least 3 of his closest friends, that being Seiki, Toji, and Lily. However, Lily wasn't really interested in the game, more like just wanted to spend time with Leo after all. After reaching the highest levels of the game and getting the new high score, he was soon brought in by the higher ups of Newton, actually, that being Ali, and her second in command and leader of the tech department, Julius. As the two were interested in the Four's abilities in that of Seventh Heaven, especially Leo, as his ability to lead and also coordinate his friends into better circumstances in combat. Due to this, she wanted him to join Newton and their task force, training a team of the new generation of dragon hunters until the day that the dragons return. However, the dragons did return during this, showing his first events on defeating the dragons and saving innocents. Shows even in virtual reality or in real life, he's basically good at fighting off dragons, but not all dragons. Even with his mastery in swordsmanship, he's still not as that good. Until the day he met the Japanese Defense Force's secret weapon, an artificial human made to create and kill dragons. That being a young man by the name Yuma. Ever since that day, the two were that of, comrades in arms, to that of rivals, to frenemies, to enemies. However, it's a long story. After his first encounter with the dragons, Leo realized that his journey to become a dragon hunter and save humanity from the invasion of the dragons was going to be a long one. He needed to grow stronger, become stronger. During this time, one of his butlers and servants of the Nagashita family, known as Renji, a young man in his mid-20s who come from a long line of sword masters and swordsmen throughout that of Japan, was ordered by Leo's family to help him in his journey into saving the world, mostly to protect Leo from all threats and dangers, regardless of his own well-being. However, Leo didn't want Renji to basically sacrifice his life for him. After all, if he's going to be part of Unit 11, that we need to work together as a team. No self-sacrificing, after all. Hearing this, Renji decided to listen to the words of his young master and became a valued member of the team at the time. Not only that, Newton's first project and first order of business, the way to stop the dragons is to understand the dragon that's superior to all, the seventh dragon, otherwise known as VFD. Stopping it is the only way to stop all the dragons, which, to do that, we would need the DNA of all of the other higher ranked dragons throughout history. However, since many dragons were killed, being the higher ranked ones that in 2020, Newton decided to create that of a time machine to go back in time and go forward in time to kill the dragons, take their DNA and categorize it in the Dragon Chronicle. With that, they would have the information that they would need to kill the seventh dragon. The first on the list was the fifth dragon, known as Nayron. Originally, the dragon first appeared in 2020, but was killed by the original Unit 11. Due to him being killed, they couldn't be able to gather the DNA sample after all those years. However, his first appearance onto Earth was back in time during the events of Atlantis, when Atlantis was about to be sunken to the depths of the ocean. Unit 11, alongside Leo and his team, decided to go back in time to that point before Atlantis sunk and to kill the dragon. Through their adventures, they met amazing and great allies that they would hold dear to their hearts. Even this is where Leo and also his older brother Theo would find out that the two were actually, descendants of the ancient Atlanteans who actually escaped Atlantis before it sunk to the bottom of the ocean of the Atlantic. Now aware of his true heritage, Leo actually felt more, uplifted. After all the years, he always felt different from other people, even from his friends and loved ones as well. But now knowing that he was that he was actually an Atlantean, he felt whole. During this, he gave up the sword and moved to the dagger and blades of the Rune Knights, figuring out his true able to finally use that of magic, accepting his other half, the half that he forgot or was never told about. This is even where Unit 11 and Leo met that of Una, an orphan girl who was abandoned by her family in the lower parts of Atlantis. To her, she was drawn to Leo, believing that he was the person that she was destined to be with. So because of that, she became determined to join Unit 11. However, she wanted to grow stronger before that day. But knowing of the secrets of how Atlantis falls, Leo and everyone else of Unit 11 wanted to prevent this from happening, wanted to save the people that they have protected and basically led to, and have wanted to help. So they decided to bring all of the inhabitants of Atlantis to the present day of Tokyo in the year 2024. With that, soon the Atlantean people were able to survive, and Leo and Unit 11 were able to defeat the fifth dragon, take its DNA, and gain a step closer to defeating the final dragon. After that, soon they move forward. They move from backwards in time, forwards in time, to that of 2,000 years in the future. Where in there, humanity is actually on the brink of annihilation, as the war with the dragons finally reach its breaking point. As now all of humanity, even counting that of the Atlanteans, have now been, forced themselves to live in that of fortress castle cities, and one of them being the most populated and also the last line of defense against the dragons, known as Eden. During this time, we also met a local group of resistance fighters who were also dragon slayers, planning to kill the fifth dragon, known as Hunger Bear. The team and the resistance decided to rise up to that of the Tower of Heaven, where the dragon is most likely dwelling at. However, through this time, Leo begins to find things that are different. As the leader of the resistance, known as Renia, basically goes through that of, sickness actually, or rather, something that would end up becoming somewhat of the team's downfall in the future. But when they finally reached the dragon, and they were finally about to end his life, Rydia, on the other hand, decided to take the final kill for herself, and ended up taking the Dragon Slayer. The Dragon Slayer is a special made kind of sword that's only able to be used by that of dragon hunters such as Leo and everyone else of Unit 11 as well. However, Rydia took the Dragon Slayer and killed the fifth dragon, and soon went on a killing spree, but not killing humans but killing dragons. Now you would think that this would be a good thing. Unfortunately, no, it wasn't. It was actually a nightmare. When a dragon hunter kills so many dragons from dozens, nay, from hundreds of dragons, the dragon hunter begins to change, begins to morph into something more, something different. They become dragons themselves. And Rydia ended up becoming that of the sixth dragon, the dragon known as the sixth dragon Hypnos. And this is the reason on why she was sick, because she was on the verge, on that of the, evolution to becoming a dragon, because finding out that humans' next form of evolution is being dragons. Finding out the truth about this, many of those in Unit 11 begin to wondering on what the hell they're truly fighting for. If finding out that that dragons are invading humanity, and even finding out that dragons are actually humans, what's the point? What's the reason of continuing fighting basically themselves? It's almost like it's basically fighting against their nature to reach their true potential. But in the process, knowing that many dragons end up losing their humanity, losing on who they once were and becoming something more monstrous, more demonic, is it more of a way to end their suffering, to end the thing that they have become? This was the dilemma that everyone was facing against. But as for Leo continued fighting. He continued doing what he believed was right. However, he didn't do it alone. He had everybody of Unit 11, even his older brother as well, Theo. Theo was the one who told Leo to believe on what he's fighting for, and whatever he fights for, he'll stand there, right by his side, to the very end. With that, Unit 11's motivation and reasoning to continue fighting would stand strong, as the team continued to grow even stronger, even during the events of Eden, with gaining that of, Takashi, otherwise known as Tatsu, Nayumi, or as she likes to be called, Nana, the Nagashita family's head butler, Antonio, or Tony, as he likes to be called, and also the girl that they met in Atlantis, Yuna, who was able to come to the present alongside all of her other people, where she finally decided to join Unit 11 and fight alongside the man that she sees as her destined one. Ever since the day of Unit 11 basically reassuring themselves on what they're fighting for is the right thing to do, and with the Dragon Chronicle filled, it was almost time for the final battle with the two last dragons that remained, the second dragon and the seventh dragon. Believing that the final battle with the seventh dragon draw near, however, everything changed. They were soon betrayed as Ayla, the team's boss and the woman who basically supported the team through thick and thin and continued to aid them in their journey, was actually the second dragon, otherwise known as Phoenix. She killed almost all of those in Newton, actually, except Julius and a few other scientists for that of the Japanese Defense Force as well. But even so, the invasion of the seventh dragon was near. Many of the allies of Newton was gone, and the only ones remaining were a select few, counting that of Leo and Unit 11 as well. But even with the loss of their allies and friends, they continued to push on, even with the constant showing of dragons devouring and killing innocent people, with even the death of their last remaining ally, a girl who was the team's operator throughout their entire journey and was supporting them from the present through their battles, known as Mio, the girl who's been beside Leo's journey as a dragon hunter from the very beginning, dies from her sickness due to the poison of the dragons causing poison when they're around. With that, Leo was determined to move forward, with soon killing Allie, and then soon putting an end to the second dragon once and for all. But doing so also created that of a gateway to the spirit lands, the gateway on where all dragons dwell from, and currently where the seventh dragon dwells. Through this, the team was separated into teams of 3, with Leo, Renji, and Nana being Team 1. Team 2 being that of Saki, Lily, and Toji as well. And Team 3 composed of Tatsu, Yuna, and Tony as well. With that, the team, as each team continued going through the Spirit Lands, killing the dragons that they have fought through the battles, and their journey to this point, from the 5th dragon to the 6th, and to that of the 4th as well. And the only one that they didn't fight, or that they just fought, being the 2nd, as the teams finally united within facing against their final battle against the 7th dragon, VFD, or rather, the 7th dragon who was was Leo. Leo was the 7th dragon. Leo, and basically, currently, Unit 11 and everything else leading to this point is nothing but one giant-ass time loop. With Leo killing the 7th dragon. However, killing him basically turns him into the new 7th dragon. After that, he goes on that of a rampage, killing everyone else of his team, and then soon repeating the cycle by reviving all of the other dragons. And then it would be nothing but one giant-ass time loop, as each Dragon Slayer team kills the dragons over and over and over and over again to the very end. However, this time loop comes to an end once and for all. As now, after finally defeating the 7th dragon in his final form, Leo begins to transform, becoming the 7th dragon once more. However, instead of killing his teammates, he took the final dragon slaying sword and shoved it into his own heart, killing himself instead, believing that would be the true end of the time loop. Humanity would be saved, and all of his friends would be saved as well. However, that's not the case, actually. When Leo woke up, not seeing that he was in the afterlife or in a void, he was actually falling deeper and deeper into the spirit lands, but then soon seeing an old friend, a friend who has also guided him through his journey, a stuffed animal with that of a gear-shaped top hat, otherwise known as Nagamo, as he always had a feeling that this bunny rabbit always had answers to his questions, as he told him that killing himself ended the time loop and even ended the dragon invasion once and for all. But it also caused him to no longer exist in reality as well. So he basically made a decision. One, he can continue fade from existence, or 2, he could decide to erase all dragons from existence. That means nobody could remember what he's done. He can go back to having a normal life, living the life as that of a typical Japanese teenager who enjoys video games, while still living in the shadow of his older brother. But everybody would still be alive. With that, or he could give another option. Choose to start over. Go with everybody to another world. After all, what else is there back into his original world? The remnants of humanity may be able to rebuild, but what would you be able to rebuild with? Even with your team and friends. What is there left after being betrayed by so many? Then hearing this, soon, Leo, in a sense of desperation, in a sense of feeling like this is the one chance that he has with being with everybody, he chooses the third option to go to another world and start anew with no dragons, no dragon slayers, and to basically come to the realization that he basically killed himself twice. With that, the time, space, and dimension hopping bunny granted Leo his wish. And such, this is how this dragon hunter and his team came to the world of Highschool DxD. And that's how it is. That's how everything began. Sorry if I did skip a little, at least some parts. I really wanted to get through this pretty quickly. Soon, Azazel was completely, utterly shocked hearing all this, saying, "Oh my fucking God." Saying, "I knew you guys were scary, but you, on the other hand," pointing at Leo, saying, "you had to be the most terrifying. Hell, I believe you can even put two of our most powerful put this world's most powerful dragons to shame. If you even fought against them, who knows what the hell would happen to this world." Soon, Saki basically clearing her throat, saying, "Well, that aside, now we truly know what happened to us when we saw you kill yourself." Tatsu speaking up, coming from the wall, saying, "Affirmative. It seems instead of us basically going back to our world, you decided with your own decision that you would basically send yourself and even us to another world. Of all of the things you could have done soon, everybody was about to shield Leo from Tatsu, as even though the guy is quite a loner, he isn't afraid to basically scold harshness before saying, "It's understandable and completely, and I can respect your decision." Soon everybody was shocked. But then Lily saying, "Tatsu, I didn't think that you would. Don't get me wrong. I am a little bit annoyed that he made this decision without consorting with us as a team, especially with me being the third in command of this, looking around at everybody saying, this no good group of misfits." Everybody couldn't help but smirk, as it's basically the closest thing that of a compliment that they're going to get from Tatsu from time to time. Toji speaking up saying, "Indeed, I had to say it was quite, annoying that you didn't consort us, but given that you were basically fading from existence and you were given that of two options, basically make everybody forget that dragons ever existed except you, or go to a new world and start anew even with us. Personally, if I'm going to be completely honest, I would hate it that I would forget about what happened. That everything that we did, all of the hard work that we went through, was basically pointless and meaningless. That everything that we done was completely nonsense." Nana saying, "Oh, please. Even if we did forget, it wouldn't mean that everything we went through was nonsense." Soon Renji saying, "Lady Nana, you are aware that if the dragons never existed, it was most likely in your future you would have never been born. After all, everything would have reversed itself. You wouldn't be able to come back to the present, and you wouldn't have been a member of this team." And the same thing also goes for Lady Yuna as well. Soon hearing this, Yuna basically freaks out, having that of a shocked, surprised, and horrified face. Soon clinging on to Leo, saying, "No! I don't want to be away from my darling." Soon Leo saying, "Well, at least I know that your opinion never changed, Yuna." As Leo is having that of a, well, nervous smile on his face, while still having that of eyes of, well, reassured and comfort. With then soon Tony speaking up saying, well, I can't understand the reason why you did it, young master. But even so, even if I can no longer serve my duties as that of the head butler of the Nagashita family, I still will continue my duties serving as your butler, of course. No matter whatever decisions you decide for yourself, I will follow. Isn't that right, Renji? With then Renji basically putting his hands in his butler uniform pockets, within saying, of course, within saying, stand up straight, saying, of course, yep, of course, head butler. With then soon Leo still couldn't help but laugh, but then soon looking at Saki, within saying, Saki, but soon she's sighing, saying, how long have we been friends? Since we were kids. No matter what. And I trust your decisions, even if you don't trust your own. So, I'm not mad. Just a bit, well, annoyed. That just like Tatsu. That's all. With then hearing this, Leo saying, thanks. I appreciate it. With then soon, Azazel saying, well, no, I already knew that the, well, 9 of you were basically from another world, but knowing basically knowing your circumstances, things are going to be quite different. In this world, you're already aware that dragons do exist. However, it isn't just dragons. It's also that of other supernatural beings, such as that of devils, angels, fallen angels such as myself, yokai, and even the gods exist as well, alongside others creatures too, such as elves too as well. And soon, a few of them were pretty shocked, as it mostly being that of Lily, Yuna, and also Tony as well. Even Renji was quite shocked and surprised as well. However, the ones who were quite intrigued being that of Saki, Tatsu, Toji, and also Nana as well. As for Leo, he basically figured that this was the case, that his ability to sense that of magic and runes as a rune knight has basically flickered on and off again being in this world. When it came to the present, magic was basically that of a rarity. When it came to going back into the past, into Atlantis, magic was everywhere. And it was also the same way in that of, well, Eden too, in the future. Magic was somewhat everywhere, but nowhere at the same time. But being in this world, on the other hand, it feels about right. It feels normal in a way that this magic, that the world is basically flowing with magic. With then soon Leo standing up saying, Azazel-san, can I ask you a question? Can you tell us about the place that we're currently at right now? With then Azazel stroking his small beard saying, why the hell not? Actually, I got a bit of a, well, recommendation for you guys, to be honest. With then soon Leo and everyone else couldn't help but feel somewhat interested. Within Azazel speaking up saying, currently you're in the town of Kuo here in Japan. It's a small city town actually. It's also quite well known in Japan, given that it's home to one of the most prestigious academies in Japan, known as Kuo Academy. With then soon Toji speaking up saying, that's strange. I've never heard of Kuo Academy, especially since it's not even in our world. When you say it's prestigious, after all, if anything, the most prestigious high school back in our world is Jushin Academy, the same academy as where I, Saki, and Leo went, alongside that of Tatsu, Lily, and Leo, and also Leo's older brother, Theo, as well. With then soon Azazel speaking up saying, "Oh, right. You did say your brother was part of the team, and there's only 9 of you. So where is..." With then everybody looking down, especially Leo, as his white hair is shadowing his eyes. With then Azazel saying, "Oh, oh, oh, damn. I'm guessing, kid, I am so sorry. Hell, honestly, I actually know how you feel." With then soon Leo almost looking like he's on the verge of tears, basically saying, You do?" Saying, "Yeah, actually. Not I may be I may be once an angel, but little did people know that that one of the first fallen angels also had a little sister. Her name was Lenora, actually. She was known as the Angel of Wisdom. Basically, she was looking up knowledge on all walks of life, all forms of life as well. However, little did anyone know that looking up any form of knowledge that isn't well sanctified as that of good is, well, basically a big no-no in the Big G's word of conduct. Basically, sending my little sister to fall. However, but when she fell, she was soon killed. Right after. Hell, I didn't even get a chance to save her, to be honest. Since then, I've always blamed myself not being there when she needed me the most, and dying right there as soon as she fell. It was, I call it one of my biggest mistakes and failures as a human being. With then, soon, Leo, wiping the tears that were about to fall, couldn't help but smile, saying, Thanks for telling me this, Azazel." Within, Azazel saying, "Don't mention it. Call it from one sibling who lost a younger sibling to one who's lost an older sibling. It's only fair." Within, soon, Leo saying, "I'm not going to see you as an older brother, unfortunately, sir." Within, Azazel saying, "Ouch! Just like that. I was thinking it, but still, just shot me down." With then Leo saying, sorry, I have one older brother, and I'd rather keep it that way." With then soon Lily, Yuna, and even surprisingly Tatsu also hugged Leo, as he only just wrapped one arm around that of the half Atlantean. Within Azazel saying, "Well, at least you got people right by your side. Took a while for me to get over it too, but I had people by my side who helped me through it." With then soon Azazel saying, "But like I was saying, but before I got sidetracked and brought up old wounds, Kuo is not a town that I run or in control of the fallen angel. Hell, is not even in control of the Shinto." With then hearing this, Tatsu actually raised an eyebrow as he stops hugging Leo, but then saying, "Currently, Kuo town is in the territory of the devils, and it's run by that of the sister of the current Lucifer. Her name is Rias Gremory." With then hearing this, Leo couldn't help but say, "Wait, why is a Japanese town being under control?" With then soon Tatsu saying, "That is absolutely ridiculous." But then, looking at the once calm and rational young 20-year-old, he couldn't help but say, "It's ridiculous. Why would the Shinto basically give up a town that's under their jurisdiction and under their land to that of beings from another world who are considered that of the true evil of this world? So why?" With then soon Azazel could actually feel that of multiple Shinto gods flowing from Tatsu. However, outside of, well, 2 gods that are quite surprising, one of the gods, one thing that he feels is weird. He can feel the power of life, basically that of Amaterasu flowing beside him. However, another thing feels sinister, dark, the one that he feels is way off, that being death. Death itself. As within soon, Lily placing a hand on Tatsu's shoulder, within Tatsu looking at the American woman, then saying, Tatsu, calm yourself. Allow Azazel to explain, and then you can have your reason to snap. With then this, his power begins to go down, but soon his green hair stops spiking up before then it goes back down. But then soon saying, proceed before I get angry again. With then soon Azazel clearing his throat saying, well, like I said, this town is under the jurisdiction of devils because the Shinto are actually neutral, to be fair. They wanted to get out of all of the politics and issues with the supernatural and decided to handle things to themselves, deal with stuff in their own borders. However, they're not afraid to rent their territory to other supernatural people, such as offering certain towns and cities for a price. The devils paid a high amount for this territory. Before it was in the hands of the Gremory, it was in the hands of the Beale family. However, a little issue happened. I'm a little bit too Murphy on the reasons, but let's just say it had to do with the devils in the church. And let's just say the leader of this territory was killed by a priest. I believe it happened about 12 years ago, if I recall. So the town was still under that of devil control. So they gave it to that of a young girl who's said to be a prodigy, but to me, I think the only thing that makes her a prodigy is that she basically she's hot as hell. And if you see her, you basically be wanting her no matter what. Just saying. As Azazel basically has that of a curious and also interested look on his face, with then everybody else having that of looks of not really caring or looks of disgust at Azazel. With Lily having a menacing smile, Yuna basically looking at him with that of hatred, Saki not really caring so much, Doji basically looking at him at what the hell is he thinking, Tatsu not really caring and just wants Azazel to continue on, and Renji not basically nodding his head at least a little bit, if he not knowing what the girl looks like, but agrees with him. Tony basically looking at the man with somewhat disgust because of the girl, if she's supposed to be that of a young woman, and also that of Nana basically wanting to thinking of a way to either blast him, torture him, or basically kill him altogether. And Leo, well, let's just say the guy is not really a big fan of what's going on, as his blushing, but not in the way of embarrassment for himself hearing this, more in a way that he's embarrassed thinking about what Rias looks like. With then soon Azazel saying, "Oh, just continue what I was saying." But like I said, besides Rias Gremory being a genius or not, she's the one in charge of this town. Well, her family is. However, there's also another heiress from another devil family here as well. Her name is Sona Citri. She's also the sister of the current Leviathan of the devils as well. So, then soon, Toji speaking up saying, so, currently we're in a town that's run by devils, and we have two heiresses of two Arch Gosho pillars here as well. Is that correct? With then soon Azazel saying, yeah, basically. With then soon Toji looking at Leo saying, what's the plan, Leo? Want to continue? Want to leave this town and basically head to Tokyo? I mean, we're aware that maybe your family's business may not exist here, or if they do, they may be run by somebody else or possibly another version of you. Just saying. With then, as they saying, whoa. You guys should not leave, at least not just yet. Within Yuna speaking up saying, and why not, Crow Boy? With then soon, as they saying, wow, she really does not like me. With then saying, but the reason being is because you guys radiate so much power. Besides radiating that power overwhelming power that you guys had when you first came to this world, you all also radiate that of multiple gods and deities as well. And it isn't just that; even your weapons radiate some gods and deities as well. With then soon everybody getting confused. With soon they began to realize what he means as it being their special weapons. Their weapons forged from the gods of their world, mostly the Japanese Shinto, and also being from that of the Norse and also the Hindu as well. With then soon Leo saying, I understand that, and it makes sense that our power would be quite overwhelming given what we've gone through and done as well. So within looking at Saki and then looking at Nana, within the two nodding, within Saki basically creating her hard light hologram keyboard and screen as well. Within soon Nana waving her arms in the air as she begins creating that of magical symbols with her arms and hands. Within soon he's saying, what are you? Within Leo putting his hand up in the air, stopping Azazel from asking. Before then soon a bright light field begins to engulf everybody. Within soon, a bright light, a mixture of both science and magic, can basically cloaks everybody. Within, Azazel feeling the essence from them, saying, I don't feel anything. All of you are, I don't feel nothing. What was that? Within, soon, the hologram screen disappeared from Saki saying, a cloaking spell, or that of a suppression wave. Or, as Nana speaks up saying, as me and Saki likes to call, we call it the suppression wave. Basically, a wave mixing that of my magic and Saki's nanotech, hard life nanotech, which also creates that of a signal suppressing that of our magic, and me using that of a cloaking spell to prevent people from feeling our magic as well. So we're basically covered in three categories, from sensing, tracking, and feeling. Within Saki saying, the only way to dispel it if two reasons. Either me and Nana basically do it ourselves, or if one of us goes into combat with an enemy, which if that happens, it basically decloaks itself automatically. It's the one and only flaw, but it's mostly used to, keep us away from unneeded battles and unnecessary fights as well. So, in a way, it does its purpose. With then hearing this, Azazel couldn't help but be impressed, saying, my word, it's amazing. I never even thought of magic like that before. Mixing magic and technology? No, mixing science and technology. The only man that I thought of that basically tries that is that of the current Satan being of Beelzebub. Within Tony can help but say, Dios mío. The more I hear about these devils, it's overwhelming me. Knowing that demons are truly a thing. Within soon, Renji saying, no, Mr. Garcia. It's devils, not demons. Within soon, Tony saying, same thing, Reiji, same thing. Within soon, as they saying, not really. demons are considered to be the progenitors of the devil race. They're not devils take more after humans and sentient creatures, where devils were more of weapons of mass destruction, focusing on what they were made to do, cause sin and sin alone. In hearing this, soon Leo saying, makes sense. So, is it okay that we can walk out? Personally, I think I need some air after everything that I've gone through. Saying, yeah, I can't sense anything from you, not even your weapons. So, go ahead. Lily saying, I'll come with you, Leo. With then Yuna saying, me too. Saki saying, I think I would love to get a feel of the area. Leo saying, I appreciate that. I really do, but I need to be alone. Thank you, Lily. Yuna, you too, Saki. You can look around the area by yourself if you feel like it. Saki nodding, saying, I actually understand. When I see that look on you, Leo, you need to think. And you can do that. With that, soon, Leo walks away out of the apartment and heads to the exit. Then Saki right behind him as well. Soon, Lily and Yuna feel somewhat down, not being able to comfort Leo at this time, but they understand why he needs to be alone. Soon, Saki waves to Leo and heading her own way. But then soon, Leo doing the same and heads his own. As he walks away, Saki couldn't help but look back at her childhood friend, her best friend, feeling somewhat powerless herself in this situation, but still continues to scout out the area. After all, it's her duty, not just as the second command, but also as the team's recon expert as well. She contacts that of Yuna and saying, Yuna, when I look around, I want you to come out as well to help me recon the area as well. Try not to cause a scene. From the words of Azazel, it seems that the other races aren't really well known to the public, unlike Atlanteans such as yourself and Leo. Yuna messaging back, saying, okay, but you think I could keep an eye on Leo while I'm doing my reconning as well? Saying, just keep your distance away. You know his ability to sense magic. And your swords are completely made of magic, remember? But saying, right, totally understand. With that soon, she removes the hologram and the messaging before then walking down from the apartment building. As for Leo, he continues walking through the streets, seeing everything, as it is quite, primitive in a way. As he's seen the technology, he's seen how advanced his time is, especially when it comes to VR technology and gaming. But right now, the one thing that he wants to know is if the games here are just as cool. Looking around in the small city town, as he sees a local video game shop. As he looks at the video games, soon seeing that some games that he doesn't know anything about. However, the consoles, on the other hand, are quite similar to the old school consoles back in his day. Saying, seriously? No VR tech whatsoever? Is it really? Man, games now, seriously, who likes games like this? Hell, I'd rather take some anime by any chance, or even manga. Soon a girl saying, hey, if you're gonna diss games like that and say you're gonna look for some manga, I know the perfect ones that you can look for. Soon Leo looks up and sees a girl. However, when he looks at the girl, his eyes couldn't help but be shocked and stunned by her beauty, as she has that of a quite, buxom and curvaceous figure. She also, with that of nice thick legs as well. Not only that, her school uniform, being that of black and white, also, well, shows off her curves even more. But her blue eyes stand out quite a bit. However, what truly stands out about her and truly mesmerizes Leo is her crimson red hair with thin, soon. And not only that, she's not half bad looking and cute in that of a seductive, cute kind of way. However, Leo is no fool, and he's not an idiot given his time as a dragon slayer. Just by looking at this girl, she's not normal. If he's able to be charmed by her, just by that, just by looking at her. However, little did Leo know, this was the new beginning that would start. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I love to read them. And yeah, sorry, I basically, skipped through. I basically went through the entirety of 7 Dragon 3 and basically a speed through. So yeah. However, sorry that I might have gotten some of the dragon names wrong. So sorry about that. It has been a while since I played, and I've just started replaying it again after all. But I still remember at least some of the characters and also the events that also went through the game as well. Also, I plan on giving some of the male characters and some of the female characters their own harem. Well, except the 2 girls who are actually in love with Leo after all. That being Lily and Yuna, of course. But the main ones who will be having a harem is that of Leo, Renji, also that of, Tatsu and Toji, and maybe also Nana as well. So if you guys have any suggestions, tell me in the comments below about who you guys think that they should be with. I already have that of Leo's harem down already, but if the others, just tell me below. Any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification to keep up to date with my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, check out my Discord, gaming channel, main channel, and Patreon. All link in the description below if I don't forget. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki signing out. Later guys, and hope you all take care.